I did my hike in 1978, the classic Georgia to Maine. Started in April in Georgia and Labor Day weekend in Maine, 4.5 months, 142 days. I think what was most memorable for me overall was this beautiful landscape. To be able to walk in large forests, in wilderness areas, in beautiful national parks, in the 100-mile wilderness of Maine, in the White Mountains, in the Green Mountains, along the Long Trail portion. I was walking one day somewhere in the south on my AT through hike, and I said, I think I know what I want to do with my life now. I want to help protect, conserve, preserve natural areas, national parks, public lands, wilderness areas, and the Appalachian Trail.
I mean, I started as an adult, but I've spent then my whole adult life working and caring about the Appalachian Trail. I moved here from New Jersey, and a friend of mine brought me up to the Blackburn Trail Center. And when I learned about this incredible trail that was managed and maintained by volunteers, even though it was a national park, it just really captured my imagination of what individual citizens can do.
To me, the Appalachians are home. Growing up in North Carolina, they were what I knew to be the wilderness. And when I first stepped foot on the trail and realized that this went all the way beyond North Carolina, all the way up to Maine, I knew that this was something that I wanted to explore and dedicate my life's work to. On the East Coast, the Appalachian Trail is the backbone of the wilderness. It's the place where all protected lands, once they connect into, are connecting into something greater, a large landscape that really is important beyond just the East Coast of the United States. There are migratory birds that come all the way from South America to continue their life cycles here along the Appalachian Trail. So ecologically speaking, the trail is part of the heartbeat of the wilderness along these continents.
Benton MacKay's idea was to create a hiking trail that would feature the largest, most impressive mountain and forested landscape in the eastern United States. Today we have a 2,190-mile Appalachian Trail corridor greenway that's protected, publicly owned. The risk, the challenge, the threat is that in many places this trail could be reduced to simply a very narrow footpath that looks out on suburban development, at transmission lines, at natural gas pipelines, wind turbines, communication towers, as opposed to the beautiful mountains and forests and rivers and creeks and natural areas we have now. It's kind of a race against time if you think about it, because America will continue to grow and develop. But there's still a great deal of this country that's in a natural state. Much of the Appalachian Trail landscape is not developed. It really represents the development and the culture of this country and of this region.
What we see now when we hike along the ridgeline, only a slender portion of the lands that we see are actually protected. Every day, commercial development, residential development, utility lines are putting pressure on the lands surrounding the Appalachian Trail. The pressure has never been greater, but the opportunity has never been greater either. We have the tools that we need to protect the trail. It's vital at this point, now that we've accomplished step one, to do step two and start caring about not only that footpath, but the whole landscape that surrounds it. It's one of the last wild places on the East Coast, and we can not only maintain that sense of wilderness and that ecological integrity, but we're at the point where we can make it thrive to create the kind of future that we want to see on this landscape.
The AT was always built on the idea of people taking the impossible and making it possible. This was an idea. It wasn't real. It was some people just came together and had this idea about this pristine wilderness trail running up the spine of the East Coast of the United States.
Yep.
And there were those people that had the vision, and then there were the people that made it a reality in spite of whatever was challenging. I think that if anyone can do what we're talking about, it's going to be the Appalachian Trail Conservancy and the people that volunteer and support the AT, because that's the cloth we're made from. It's our legacy is to take on impossible tasks and, turn them into reality.
It has this potential to be the greatest landscape conservation program in Eastern North America because the trail is special, because it has a huge constituency, but also because it has so much beauty. It's a great opportunity to build a beautiful landscape that will be permanently protected for future generations.